Hi guys, this is Dr. Farjana. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Like always, it's an honor to connect with you. Today I'm going to be talking about interracial marriages and the difficult challenges in communication. The interracial marriages and challenges in communication. So, if you are in an interracial marriage and you come from two different cultural backgrounds, right, where low in context communication are involved, it's important for you to know each other's communication patterns. Extremely important for you to know each other's communication patterns. No, people communicate with others through a range of communication methods. Some utilize gestures, body language, verbal messages, or nonverbal messages. For instance, more eye contact, right? Some cultures show less eye contact. So high context cultures often entail less direct verbal and nonverbal communication. Extremely important to understand that as well. Entail less direct verbal and nonverbal communication. Basically, it is less direct, right? Small communication gestures and reading between the line is often used to communicate. Conversely, low context cultures use direct verbal communication. A direct approach is needed to properly understand a message. It relies heavily on explicit communication, right? Hence, high context where one is less direct, you may need more. You may need more prompting from your partner. You may need your partner to ask more questions for you to speak up and elaborate, right? In low context, where you are direct and expect your partner to be direct, right? You may need your partner to express more, speak up with concerns, show you that they appreciate you more, right? For instance, I'll give you an example. After your partner talks about his day, right? If you come from a low context background, he is expecting you to talk about your day as well. He assumes you will just talk about it like he did so easily. However, he doesn't ask you about your day, and you start thinking he doesn't care, and this hot and cold pattern continues due to the lack of understanding of each other's cultural differences in communication. Here is simply thinking you have nothing to say. He is simply thinking that you have nothing to say, right? Or else you would have said something, and he moves on. Do you see how things can get misconstrued? This may also affect intimacy as well. Because if you come from high context cultures, expressing needs is extremely challenging, right? A lot of expressing, right, comes from reading between the lines, right? And you need a lot more prompting. So speaking about sexual needs become extremely challenging, and both of you end up feeling unsatisfied or not good enough, right? So, for instance, the low context partner from the low context background may feel like they're not good enough, they're not performing well enough, and then the partner from the high context background may be feeling unsatisfied, right? So, again, many things are lost in communication. Also, low context cultures are primarily emphasize being independent, whereas high context cultures are family oriented, looking out for each other, showing lots of concern. So some of the extreme independent thinking may come off as selfishness. Next, note, when individuals from high context cultures start being direct, it may come off as an attack when addressing concerns. Especially if you have held it in a concern because you're scared to speak up, or you've been oscillating in indecision, whether to bring it up the concern or not, and how. So be mindful of how you approach concerns. You must learn how to address things in a more inviting versus attacking way. Ask, am I being inviting and loving? Or does this sound more like I'm attacking the person, right? When I'm asking for a need or expressing a concern. So what are some solutions? What can you do to alleviate this a little, So one is learn each other's cultural communication style and cultural programming. Because remember, this is a programming, right? And if anything that you've been programmed to do, you can also correct, right? So tell each other what you need from each other. Like, I need more prompting. For example, if you're from an individual from a high context background, you may need questions to help with elaboration during conversations. This may show concern and care from the other partner. More actions that show protecting me as a partner. So you can say these to your spouse or your partner. Similarly, an individual from low context cultures may need more compliments and recognition from you. Your low expressions may make them feel unappreciated or unloved in ways, right? So work on expressing yourself more if you do come from that high context background. And if you come from that low context background, right? Ask those prompting questions, all right? Ask more questions to help your partner elaborate, right? It's being a team. Next, get couples therapy to work on your relationship. Extremely important and very healthy. Be understanding of each other's context style before overreacting in an argument. Communicate what you need instead. And last, watch the tone you communicate in with your partner. Watch the tone you use when you communicate with your partner. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. Take care of yourself. Work on those relationships, okay? Relationships can be healed, right? Communication can get better, right? All right, guys, take care.